Christ. Hey, good Lord. What a pain. So I'm actually live. I think I have audio. I think I have visual. And I don't know. If someone jumps on here, please send a message so I have some idea of what's going on actually. I have no idea for sure if I am or if I'm not. So I'm just continuing to go through and make sure everything is good. Hey, welcome to Wednesday Blendsday anyway. Sorry about the 6 different ones I have up trying to get this to work. Oh, Stan, I had to reboot the whole operating system. What a pain. Oh, it was miserable. So can you hear me okay and see me okay and everything working finally? What's up? Stan, let me know if you can hear me and see me just fine. And I see you in the chat, so. Let me see here. Can you hear me? Once I confirm that this is there. Perfect. Thanks, Anthony. All right, so after many different, sorry, the Roop, it's just trying new stuff, just sometimes just go straight to shit. And that's all there is about it. So, but thank you guys for hanging in there and fighting through it. So I have a really fun, not as long Wednesday, but who knows, Jason's going to kick off at 9. I usually try to bail in time, but if I have an opportunity, I'll just go a little bit longer. So interestingly enough, the only thing I have green to wear is military. So, hey, there's my St. Patrick's Day green. So I have a couple different things I'm going to do, right? So I have my normal, I'm going to drink some Jameson. Now, Jameson is just it's just a regular old Irish whiskey. I'm going to take a sip or two of it, and I'm going to use that in my blend later. Thanks, Roop. Sugar Katie, hey, we're back. Thanks for coming back, guys. I appreciate it. Lava Man, thanks for coming back. Anthony, I love you guys. I appreciate you dealing with my idiocy and mental breakdown. And really all it was, I had to reboot my operating system. So I couldn't figure out why every time I was trying to do something, it would just instantly shut down everything. And I'd be like, oh, what are you doing? So I couldn't do anything. So long story short, we got that fixed. So first thing I'm going to do is we're going to have some just good old-fashioned generic Jameson, right? Triple distilled Irish whiskey. It's an easy drinker, nothing fancy. But how we're going to make this later is going to be a different one, right? So it's going to be a little bit different Blendsday than normal because normally I only blend whiskeys. And this one is my favorite St. Patrick's Day Schlammer drink. And I say Schlammer is because usually I just get slammed whenever I make it. So it's usually a fun drink that I make when we have a bunch of people around. We make it by the pitcher. And that's just a nice, easy, smooth drink. And if people don't like smooth, I don't care. It is smooth. It's easy going. So, and I like that. So I have a couple Irish whiskeys. I'm going to sit here and sip a little bit. And I'm going to taste them and see if they're going to blend. So the 3 different Irish whiskeys I have is I have my basic Jameson. I have Writer's Tears. And I have Sexton. The Sexton. Single malt Irish whiskey. But we're going to make a fun drink a little bit later. Mr. Whiskey Shits. Cheers, brother. Lava Man, if you were here, I'd punch you with like a really good drink of something. Because I'm not into that. I'd punch you if you asked me to. It's all right. So I'm gonna line up these trees because I just want to see if, I'll be honest with you, I've only ever had Jameson. I haven't had the Writer's Tears or the Sexton. I went out and grabbed them tonight. I looked at some reviews on Irish whiskey because I've never really been into the Irish whiskey. Not because I have anything against it. It just never came up for me. And yeah. Hey, John T. So we're going to throw the writer's tears here in the middle. I was interested about the writer's tears because when I looked at it, it has the cognac finish and it also has the bourbon finish, and it's a little bit higher proof at 92. So I was like, well, hey, I like higher proof. And that made me happy to find something that wasn't just 80, although I don't mind 80. And the color on it, is pretty nice. I can live with that. And then the Sexton single malt Irish whiskey, and comes in with all kinds of information here. But it's an 80 proofer. Nice little bottle. And we're going to crack this and pour them. And I'm going to see what I get when I taste these, because I haven't had these two at all. Man, that bottle spills a lot. I'm not as impressed with the bottle anymore. It may be good to look at, but it doesn't really pour the best. And I'm all for like wiping the excess in my beard. But hey, what's up, Mr. Mike Stahl? Jeffrey Wack. So thank you for jumping back in through the chaos earlier. So I'm going to get a quick feel for these. I have Jameson, just basic triple distilled. I have the American and French oak, Writer's Tears, so double oak, and then I have the Sexton. So, oh yeah, that Writer's Tears. That's girthy. And that's really aromatic. That's like straight perfume. What's up, Gary Franchi? All right, so let's taste. This is the Writer's Tears double oak. Hey, that definitely gives you some like big smoke, don't it? That's pretty smoky. Smoky, barrely, woody. Some good notes in there. I mean, that's really good. Cheers, bud. Thank you guys all for jumping in. Oh, that Sexton's good. Yeah. That Writer's Tears is really enjoyable. I'm glad I bought it. So if you saw my original thing, you saw that there was a Wednesday Blendsday and a little critter sitting there holding a Jameson. So I'm pretty, I've been known to make some drinks at parties. And sometimes those drinks get named by people. It doesn't mean I named them. And so you get these weird names. And it's really fun because they come back with some weird ones. So I was making this, and it's the one we're going to make to wrap up the show. It's a green, really fun, definitely a sweet drink. It's more of like what you might have as a summertime drink. But I thought, hey, you know what? It's my favorite Irish one. We have a local Irish place here that used to have it on their menu a long time ago when I made it, and they put it on their menu for now. You can still go there and ask it. They kept it in their menu list of drinks to make, but it will just straight up, it tastes like green Kool-Aid, and it will straight up just slobber knock you, make you fall right on your face if you don't pay attention. So funny story, I was up and they were doing the American Heart Foundation, or the representative for it, one of the people raising money for the American Heart Foundation, was doing Jello shots. Now this is years ago, so probably not what you're going to see today, but they were doing Jello shots while I was there. And while they were doing them, she asked me, she's like, hey, what do you recommend for a really good fruity sweet drink? Because I don't really like the taste of alcohol, but I'm okay for getting a good buzz. And I was like, oh, a ball beaver. Now, the only reason that got the name is one of the ladies that was the bartender named it. So I won't get into the details of the story, but it was really funny. So I said, oh, okay, yeah. So I gave her this, and she drinks it. Oh, that's really good. I really enjoy this. And I said, well, be careful because it's really strong. So you want to make sure that you're paying attention to what's going on and get up every now and then and see what you're doing. She's like, oh, I'll be okay. Okay. And so I noticed she like drinks it. And it wasn't like a shot. I mean, it was a pour. And I'm like, oh no, what have you done? And then she didn't get up and she ordered another one. And so the owner of the store, the bar I'm good friends with. And I said, buddy, you better pay attention to her because she's getting ready to have her second ball beaver. And that's not going to be good if she gets up. And she said, no, I feel good. I said, well, you feel good because you're sitting down. You haven't moved yet. So a little bit of time goes by. I notice she finishes it. She gets up to go to the bathroom and absolutely face planted right in the middle of the bar. And she's the one from the American Heart Foundation running the event. And so that's what we're going to make later. We're going to make a bald beaver. And that's why you see the bald beaver holding a Jameson, because whiskey does go into it. This time, we're just going to put some Irish whiskey in it. And I was going to put Jameson in it, but we'll see, because I'm really interested what these guys turn out to be. Because 2 of these are new, but they have very distinct noses and flavors. None of these, are even close to being the same. So, to my far left over here, if you see me pull up this guy, this is Jameson, Writer's Tears, and this is Sexton. So I'll kind of keep them separated so you can see. I could bring it down a little bit, but yeah, I can bring it down a little bit. That's a little bit too far. But I'll tell you what they are. So what are you guys drinking tonight? Wednesday, Blendsday, is this fun thing that, you've probably heard the story of how it started and all that stuff. But it's just an interesting thing that you can sit there and flavor profile. The one thing that I enjoy the most about any of my broadcasts or any of my reviews is helping everybody understand it's not what you like, it's why do you like it. And there's nothing wrong with figuring out what you like and enhancing it. If you like whiskey and you're drinking something, you're like, wow, that would taste better if it had this. Well, trust your instincts. Trust that. Hey, wow. Okay, well, what do I remember that I've had that has that? Add it for taste. Well, now it's missing this. What is that? And then just play around with it. So, that's what I'm going to do here. Just goof around. Oh, barrel rye store pick. Nice. One of the bottles with a green label for St. Patty's Day. Perfect. Man, I ain't going to lie. I like this. I like this Writer's Tears. That mellows right out. Man, I'm definitely not upset that I bought that. Yellow spot, blue spot, and some red rest. So, yeah, I saw a bunch of those out there. And Mr. Wentworth, that's funny. And so I went through and I was like, well, I want to just go over here and get some introductions. I don't want to go out and drop a lot of coin on something that I haven't even done reviews on. I could have got, they had Jameson 18, they had Redbreast 15. I thought about that and I was like, well, I want to make sure that if I get something, I'm not a collector of drinks. I collect what I like. So I need to have some kind of profile or someone. And so after Stan, are you going on the late show after the Mash and Drum? So if so, Stanley, the Wags Mash Bill is going on after. I believe he's doing the late show again. And on his live later, he's going to be in there doing some come see what I'm drinking. So if anybody makes the concoction we're going to make later, you'll watch Dan, but I don't know if you'll remember anything we did tonight, because it's man, I make it by the pictures when we go out on the boat on the lake, and it's usually perfect. So yeah, make sure after the Mash and Drum's coming up at 9 with the Whiskey Crusaders. They have a big lineup of Irish whiskeys. Hey, what's up, Adriana? Whiskey Mountains is in here. I'm telling you what, if you don't subscribe to Whiskey Mountains, you are missing the boat. It's beautiful. Everything about it is great. I'm a big hiker person. I love being in the mountains. I love everything about it. But Adriana, your outtakes are absolutely the best. I about pissed myself. That was funny. So hopefully you got your celebration drink. So the Writer's Tears, it's a big full-bodied flavor. The viscosity is decently coating. I mean, I'm not breaking up, and I feel like I have a great finish on it. It does have, the woody notes that I would expect to have based on what I've read about it. And I would say that you could tell that it was definitely, I'm not surprised that it's cognac. I don't know if I'd have pulled out cognac, but I definitely would have pulled out some kind of barreling in it. You can get this weird in between the port and cognac. The port's usually sweeter and more of this like a syrupy feel. This is actually really nice. So let me go over here to the Sexton. And I don't usually just go through and do this. I can. I've done it plenty of times. But the legs on this guy, I'm telling you, the viscosity on this guy, I don't know if you can see this, but they are just slow moving legs. Just amazing. And this is, wow, this Sexton's gotten really sweet open. That's gotten really like honeycomb. That's gotten very like sugar honeycomb. And really, man, that's really nice on the nose. It still has that, like that smokiness, that peat to it, but boy, that's settled down a lot. It's like if I had a really, really, really smoky peach or something. There's like a weird note on there with like some honey. And I'm more of like honeycomb, not like processed. So these are three very distinct different things. And I don't know what it's going to turn out like, but let's see. I have a little bit in each glass. And I will keep, you know what? So I'm just going to blend them. So I'm going to put the Jameson and the Writer's Tears and the Sexton. I want to see what happens because they all are so unique. That Jameson is really just like your base level, just really nice, smooth thing. Yes, absolutely. Whiskey Mountains ask, do I find the legs as an indicator of how the finish will be because of viscosity? Absolutely. 100%. I can usually get a really good feel on the viscosity of how it's going to coat, how is it going to go on my tongue, and how long my finish is going to be. And it's usually pretty accurate. I don't think I've ever had a good, heavy, thick viscosity that didn't have a good finish. And I can tell you for sure, if you're sitting there thinking, wow, I'm drinking whatever I'm drinking and it's really good, but boy, I would really like to have like maybe a cocoa note, malted barley. Get something with high malted barley, anything over 6%. You can do the Woodford American malt, which is like 51%. You can get into the Buckners I just had. No, it's expensive. I reviewed Buckners. And if you looked at the review, and if you see Augusta Distillery, it's Augusta, Kentucky. It's their cask strength, but it's a higher malted barley. So it's still a rye first. It's still a higher rye, but malted barley's that's higher than 6%. And you get that cocoa note. Malted barley will give you a Nestle Quick cocoa powder, like the cocoa powder of a hot chocolate. You'll get this weird cocoa nut before on your finish, especially if you have a good finishing bourbon you're blending it with. So this little blend, I've just been marrying a little bit, and I lost that smoke note. It's still there, but not nearly as predominant. Yeah, and that's, Shits, I did the same thing. I went in there and I was like, what is the highest proof Irish I can find in here? Because I'm a high proof guy. And since I'm doing Irishes, I'm not going to put a bourbon or anything into it. But I wouldn't be opposed to doing it. Especially, now the Writer's Tier at 92, I'll be honest with you, I enjoy that. And the Sexton definitely opened up. Now, I'm not talking like I know them. I'm just telling you what I know from what I'm doing right now. Jameson is Jameson. We all know what Jameson is. Wow. So that's really, really, you know what? I don't know if there's a way of doing this that you can see this. If you can see, I don't know if you can see trying to give some kind of background. I got so many lights on here. And this is just like super slow moving. That right there is really good. That blend is like, it's got great viscosity. It's going through. It enters the tongue, not sweet at all. I mean, it's just velvety. It's really velvety coming on, but not sweet. About mid palate, it sweetens up a little bit, and it does have this weird. I swear the back end of this, the back end of this finish is got this really. Oh, it's not. I don't want to say. There's some kind of cocoa chocolatey note on there. Maybe if you've ever had like a Ghirardelli 96%, those big cocoa notes, like that's like almost unbearable because it's not sweet. So that's pleasant. If you like a smooth drinker that has a little oomph and gives you this weird chocolatey smoky note on the finish, I just blend these three. It does. Now, having said that, the Sexton and the Writer's Tears are very good on their own. I like them both, but they're uniquely different. But put them together, you could do some damage on this guy. I am not upset at all that I blended that. I think I would be really confused though if I was sampling it like that. If I could pull everything out of that, I probably would have thought that it was just a really smoky Irish, or maybe just maybe if you blended a couple Glens, it kind of does give this weird Scotchy note, but kind of on the lighter side. But for now, I'm going to pour. You know what? I'm going to pour a little bit of each of them again, just because. Why not? They taste great. So yeah, it was like really funny. Someone's like, "Hey, you're doing Blendsday night." I said, "Yeah." They said, "What are you wearing St. Patty's Day wise?" And I was like, "I don't have anything." I'm a military green fan. I'm just not a big regular green person. And so, oh yeah, Nick, I'll tell you what, this Writer's Tears is nice. I'm so happy with it. I'm glad I bought it, and I'm glad to drink it. Matter of fact, I will probably be drinking these the rest of the night because I'll bet you on the. So I know Adriana can answer a question. Where will I be for the rest of the night watching the shows? The same place I always am, right? She knows where I'll be. And if you follow me at all on Instagram, you know where I usually dwell. So let me see if I can find a better way of pouring this, because this thing's a mess to pour out of. What a mess. I'd almost want to get like a pouring spout for that. I mean, it looks okay. I mean, but man, that Sexton has great. It just has this weird smoky note that's really nice. I think the Sexton's where I pulled some weird cocoa notes from, and I might be mistaken some wood or something else, because sometimes you can get that coffee ground wood note and cocoa kind of intertwined somehow. Writer's Tears it's lovely. It's my favorite of those three right now. You know what? Oh, I probably shouldn't do that. I can up the proof on these without adding bourbon. I have some stuff. I'll save that for another show. I'll show you how you can go and buy White Dog and do some incredible things with it. I do it in the little mini barrel cask, and it comes out pretty darn good. So I'm interested. I know that oh yeah, the weather was perfect here. I can tell you right now, we had a great day here. So I know that Nick was getting ready to pour Writer's Tear. Nick, what's your thoughts on the Writer's Tears? I'm just asking because I'm new to it, right? The only one here that I've had on a regular basis in the past is Jameson. So I'll be interested to see what you had. Jameson's just like super smooth. It's just a sipper. I don't even know if I could put that on ice. I'd have to up the proof in it. Oh, I know. You know what? This Writer's Tears, I would say, between these two, I'm gonna do a quick thing, right? And Adriana knows I know her palate. Let me see, of these two, which would Adriana pick? Whiskey Mountains would pick. Writer's Tears. Yep. Whiskey Mountains would definitely pick Writer's Tears. But yeah, it's just got a heavier coating, right? It gives you that viscosity and that stuff that you normally like, especially if you're a knob person. Oh, you're getting, Mike, where are you at that you're getting like laid in snow, like snow everywhere? Yeah, Knob Creek. Hey, I'm with Adriana. Whiskey Mountains, man. I do like some Knob Creek. I don't have a problem with any of the Knob Creeks. I can tell you that if you get the Knob Creek Rye 100 and you do your due diligence of decanting it, man, the nose on it turns into just straight Jif peanut butter. Like, honestly. I have Writer's Tears, I have Sexton, and Jameson. But I do think you'll like Writer's Tears. It's a little bit different, but of the three I'm drinking, that's the one you would pick. You're not wrong, Sugar Katie. I love not the Knob Creek. I have a whole shelf up here dedicated to. I have Knob 15, Knob 12, Knob 9, Knob double cask, Knob quarter cask. Every one that I've ever been able to find, I always buy. Have I had the Knob Creek Limited Batch 2 Caster? Yes, I have. Yes, I have. I have for sure. Hey, the Sexton, I'll tell you this, Nick. The Sexton is really nice. It has, if you like a little bit smokier, but like some really good notes to it. Here, let me give you. Oh man, I'm telling you, that's got a sweet finish note, and it doesn't have that in the very beginning. I'll pour some more. It's St. Patty's Day, and I work from home, so it's not like I have to get up early or anything. Oh yeah. So yeah, Sugar Key. So I know that where Whiskey Mountains was at, she was having not very much success finding store picks. And so a couple of us said, hey, you know what? We have some store picks. So I sent her the Knob Creek Rye 115 store pick from Lucas Liquors. Yeah, I know you're not super into Irish, but on the ones I'm doing, right? So the thing is, right? So the thing that you don't really care about that one is that because you have a smoke finish, right? You have a smoke finish, and in that, especially if you're a bourbon person, which is predominantly where I'm at, but you always want to go through and do your due diligence to make sure to evolve your palate. Let your palate evolve. Even if it's nothing more than to be able to give advice to someone and say, hey, listen, I didn't care for it, but if you identify with a person that likes Knob Creek, Whiskey Mountains loves Knob Creek. And then you can go through and give this is what I thought though. Oh, the bottle kill behind me. This is the C917 131 proof Elijah Craig barrel proof. Yeah, he's about to go down. It's a sad day, but I have a replacement. It's not a barrel proof because I already have the barrel proofs, but what's going to go in its place behind me is my new Elijah Craig toasted barrel. So I will throw it up there so it doesn't look so sad. Now I do have the A118 barrel proof and the A121 barrel proof right there as well. So now the weird thing about me throwing that up there is everything else up here is cast strength. Even if you look, you can't see the top, but there's a Knob Creek cast strength up there. That's 119.6. So, but yeah. But yeah, did Jason C jump on here? Chris C or Chris S had Sexton for the first time Monday. Was surprised how good it is. Yeah, it is. It's really good. Completely different. I think it's more of I think that I would line up with Sexton being more of, because I don't have a lot of guidance in that world. What's up, Jason C? Looking forward to drinking some Irish with you later. Yeah. Well, Matt has a ridiculous amount of samples. Let's be real. So I'm just doing this. Right now I'm doing Jameson, just basic Jameson, Writer's Tears, the double oak, and the Sexton. And just going through, I did blend them, and they turned out pretty nice and pretty mellow. But I'm making a Schlammer, my favorite Schlammer St. Patty's Day drink because it turns bright green. But it does have whiskey in it, so I figured, oh, hey, you know what? I'll do it because I have to add some whiskey. And my normal whiskey I put in it, I'm going to change up for some Irish. Oh, I know. That's the thing, right? What's up, Big League Bourbon? Nick? Yeah, I'm not surprised. I've had proper 12. I can tell you right now, it wasn't anywhere near Writer's Tears and Sexton. I didn't hate it. Listen, there's very few things I hate. One, I feel like a lot of people spend a lot of time trying to make something and build their craft. So I try to give it the due diligence, and saying that I hate something means that there might be someone that likes it. And so if I'm giving a review of something, I want them to know, hey, this isn't my palate. However, if you like this, this, and this might be for you. If we're just scuttlebutting, sitting on the back deck, smoking and joking, someone says, hey, what'd you think of X? And I'd be like, I thought that stuff was shit. But that doesn't mean that it's not someone, some man's trash is another man's treasure. And for me, I just blend my trash to make it a treasure. Yeah, that Sexton's got a place in my bar. It really does. It's this weird, it feels to me that if I was to take, a little bit of a smoky scotch and mix it with a low proof Knob Creek because it has this weird finishy, nutty cocoa part with smoke. So to me, that's kind of where I'd be like, yeah. And I agree with Lava Man. If you see any of the Elijah Gregg barrel proofs and they're at MSRP, buy them. They're really good. And are there some better than others? Yes. But have I ever had a Elijah Craig barrel proof that I thought was a drain pour? No. Because one, I don't drain pour stuff. I blend it. But I've never had one that I don't. I couldn't drink because I enjoy it. Okay, I'm going to finish these three, and then we're going to go through and spend a little bit of time, going through, and I'm going to give you exactly how to make a ball beaver. And you know what? Hopefully there's someone on here wrenching or something because I don't know how to do that in StreamYard because, listen, I am absolutely a noob at StreamYard. I thought it would be fun to do this so I could be like, hey, if anybody wants to jump on. And then I realized I have no clue how to even do that. So, but I know a guy I can talk to and learn from. So in the future, I'm going to try to do more interactive lives so that if anybody wants to jump on and goof around, I'm going to try to spend some time learning this a little bit better so I can be a little bit more proficient at it. And then at the same time, do some more interactive lives because I appreciate having people on. I love to just shoot the shit and talk whiskey, any kind of whiskey. And let's face it, I could drink. I literally had to take, it was really a funny story, right? So I told Mrs. Battalion, I said, I need to take a few days off. I feel like I was on like a month-long bender. And she said, yeah, that's probably a good idea, I said, I just felt like I was a little rough because I knew that there was a couple of times that I was drinking because I've gone from one show to the next show, and which is fun. I love doing it. And I have a great tolerance, but let's face it. So I said, okay, I'm going to take like some dry time. And she's like, how long? I said, I ain't going to commit to anything, but I'm going to say at least a couple of days. So I made it 2. And she's like, are you going to go a week? And I was like, yeah, no, I'm not doing a dry week. What's up with that? Why would I do a dry week? I said a couple of days here and there, and I'll be fine. So I don't do a lot of drinking because anybody that knows when I do like a pour, I do a very small pour, but I can milk a pour. Let me tell you, I can do a 2-ounce pour with a cigar for 4 hours like it's nothing. And I know Jason C knows that, and anybody that does cigars absolutely do. What? Hold on a second here, Whiskey Mountains. I'm telling you what, Adriana, you stinking molecular biologist people. You're you know what? You're pretty darn close. Stinking Whiskey Mountains. You'll find out. So I can tell you that when we make it, there's 5 alcohols and 2 mixes. But you threw a couple names out there, and I'm like, wait. You know what? Just showing off. That's what you're doing. Trying to be all fancy with your showing off in your molecular biology. Oh, definitely. So, what's funny, Stan, or Jason, you said that. I was talking to somebody, and we went through, and they're like, dude, I'm getting like a little buzzed. And I was like, do you like cigars? And they're like, yeah. I said, yeah, light a cigar. And he's like, why? I said, yeah, I don't take that buzz right away. And like that. Cigar is the best buzzkill if you need it. Just make sure before you go to bed, you brush your teeth and take a spoonful of Jif, and it won't be so bad the next day if you don't like cigar breath the next day. So, Stan, at the bottom of the screen, On Streamer, there's an invite tab. There it is. So, oh yeah, hey, you know what? Click it, copy link, and paste in the chat. What? So let me see that. Click it. You know, you're gonna make me do like all kinds of fancy stuff now. Okay, so I say that, but it's not like I'm completely. Okay, so take that on the screen there. There's an invite tab. Click it and copy link and paste in the chat. Hey, look at that. Thanks, Wags. Hey, for all of you, if you haven't been following, Wags had some great news this week. And I'm proud of you, dude. Glad you're grinding. And I'll share something that I said with him that was a very profound thing that was told to me one time by my father. And it was he came to me one day and he was mentioning the fact that you might have someone ever come up to you and maybe you need something or whatever. And they say, hey, you know, can I help you? And you're like, no, I'm okay. And they say, no, how can I help you? My dad said something that I think is a very profound thought, is that you can respectfully decline, but if they insist, understand that everybody has a unique love language. Some people don't have the whereabouts to be able to say, I love you, or I miss you, or they might not be able to say it verbally or physically. So the way they might say their love language is saying, how can I help you? And if someone comes to that point and says, hey, you know, after you've already said you no, and they insist, well, you know what? You saying no just is like a no, I don't want your love. And you got to understand this, that might be the way they show a love language. So always think, anytime that you respectfully decline something, because someone that you know cares for you wants to do something, and they say, no, what can I do? Well, you know, give them an opportunity. Give them something that you're comfortable with. It doesn't mean like, oh, hey, can you go buy my house? You know, just, it's like, well, you know, if you want to do something, you know, these are some things that would help. It doesn't matter what they are, but just be honest with it, right? So, because people, listen, the one thing I know for sure, everybody's nice. Everybody's just waiting for someone to be nice to them. And when you do that, you go back to the old Rankin Bass cartoon of Santa Claus is coming to town. He gets captured by Weeping Willow, and the Winter Warlock comes down, and he's mean and grouchy, and Kris Kringle gives him a toy. He gives him a little choo-choo train, and it melts that whole exterior. When you're nice to someone, they don't expect it. And it makes for a nicer conversation, and you get to meet really good people all across this world. So don't be afraid to be nice, and don't be afraid to people that love you. Give them an opportunity to love you more. So food for thought, get back to drinking. So, all right. So, man, wow. That Sexton is really good. I recommend, if you have a Sexton, it should be decanted. Without a doubt. It should be decanted. That has turned into something it was good. It's getting better. In a decanter, it will get better. That is lovely. So, do I have these all empty? Almost. This is Jameson. And that is a perfect base for something. All right. To my Schlammer drink. A bald beaver, right? Don't ever measure this, right? If you measure it, you'll completely mess it up. You just got to do it for taste. And I usually say that about everything, right? So I'm going to take my handy dandy crystal pitcher. Boom. So we have different parts of different things, right? So, and because Adriana thinks she's like super molecular biologist and wants to call out everything, without a doubt, we have Midori. Yeah, so catch up with Stan Mike he does have really good news. He had some encouraging news this week, and I'll let him share that. That's not for me to share. So we're going to take some Midori, and I don't ever go through, you know what? I might even be like, let me see. Do I have a way of putting this up a little bit? I think I do. There's always cigar boxes everywhere here. So, boom. Now it's going to block me a little bit, but that's okay. I'll slide it over here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take some Midori. We'll throw some Midori in there. Not saying that I'm not going to not come back to it. I might. Yeah, make sure that you join the WAGs, the mash bill afterwards, after the mash and drum. When Jason completes the late show, we'll start with the mash bill. He'll be there. He'll hopefully give an update for the people that don't know. And then he's going to be drinking stuff that he wants me to see. And I'm going to drink stuff. So the next one is Blue Caraco. Whiskey Mountains. So we're going to put some Blue Caraco in there. About yay much. Oh, what a pretty green. You don't see how pretty as it is that I do. So the next thing we're going to throw in there is triple sec. You want triple sec in there. So we're going to take some triple sec, throw some triple sec in here. I always do about, it's about that. Somewhere in that wheelhouse. I just feel whatever the pour is what it's going to be. Next, peach schnapps. I'll take some peach schnapps, throw it in there. About that much. And hopefully you can see that is like beautiful green. It's like la. It's hard to see. The light's on the wrong side. Hold on. Look at me. I have a cell phone and technology. Not that I ever use it right, but there you go. Oh, how about that? Well, it's green to me. So it makes a beautiful green drink. Right. So now we need to add whiskey. It takes a whiskey. So I'm going to throw Jameson in tonight because, hey, it's Irish and it's got a green bottle. So why not? So we're going to throw some Jameson in this. Got that going on in there. The next concoction is pineapple juice. Just a little bitty Dole can of pineapple juice. Take some pineapple juice and take some pineapple juice. And the last ingredient is sour mix. Take some sweet and sour mix and add it in there. And you're just like, how much you put in there? It's like, I don't know, whatever you want. Whatever makes sense to you. Now you've seen that that's turned like really green, right? So now I can see that you can tell it's green. So typically what I do is what any good person should do. You grab some ice. And yes, I have all this craziness on my bar. It's usually under. It just depends on what I'm doing. So I have some of both. I do like this or that. So I'm going to throw some ice in here. Sorry if you're listening to headphones. This is probably going to be loud. So apologies. Close this up. Put this in here. Take this. Perfect. Now I have all this stuff I got to drink later. Great. Make sure that you get your shaker on right, because if not, you end up spilling shit everywhere. And I'm not going to say that I haven't done that, because I definitely have. So take my shaker. Let it set for a second. Get rid of my... you know what? I'll leave it here because I'm going to pour my drink into it. Put my fancy little Goodwill decanter. And that is a bald beaver. I do shake. What's up, Cheech? So, oh, sweet, good Lord. I have seen people do some stupid stuff. I promise if you do this, do not measure it. Do not measure it. Don't ever measure it for Pete's sake. You will ruin it. That is absolutely just dangerous. It's so dangerous. It is just this beautiful green drink that's great during St. Patrick's Day. But I usually make it when we go out on the boat and that stuff. I usually bring it by the pitcher. Yeah, that's deadly. Deadly. But so did everybody get the ingredients? If not, I'm sure you can go back and watch this. I don't even know how, I hope this broadcast goes and all that stuff because it was such a cluster mess in the beginning. Mr. Whiskey Shits and Cheech and Nick. Chug, chug, chug. Oh, yeah, you know, you can chug it all day long, but you're going to be like, it is really, really good. It is, I promise you, it's really good. What's up, Cheech? I would never throw something out there if I didn't think it was good. And listen, I've had bars in my local town that actually have this on their drink menu. So, and it's not because they made it. It was because I did. And so it was just a bunch of friends. And they said, man, you got to tell them what you made. So I went up there and talked to my local pub and told them what I made and all that stuff. And so they actually put it on there. But I will say this, though, it is really good. Absolutely. I got to stay away from that. There's a long night tonight. I'll just go back to I'm going back to this Sexton because I'm kind of intrigued by it right now. This Sexton was really, really nice. It was just opening up. The Writer's Tears and the Sexton, I both really like. Is a limit 2 per customer? It should be. But you know what? I doubt that they do that. They're an Irish pub, especially on a day like today. There's no way that they would limit that. That High West blend last with. Oh yeah, did you like that? That turned out really good. I know that there's been a couple people that have asked if I keep notes on all my blends, and I do. So I usually keep track of what I had. Oh, hold on now. Someone's getting here. How do I add some add to stream? Hold on. I don't hear you. There you are.
You don't hear me?
I hear you now.
Oh, okay. How's it going?
Oh, it's going good. We're blending stuff, drinking stuff. I lost you again. No audio.
Is that better?
Yep, I can hear you now.
Okay. All right, cool. Hey, just want to jump in and say it looks better than it has in the past. You just took the next step in freaking whiskey tube.
Hey.
So
the evolution, just like our palate, right? Palate evolves
yeah.
so much, you know, because I love to do lives and I could talk paint off a wall, so why not?
Yeah. So right now I went searching for a couple little minis to add to the Irish collection for tonight. Yeah. I was gonna get a Sexton, but I really don't want. I mean, even though it's only $25, it's the way you described it. I'm not really into any kind of smoky anything right now.
Yeah, it does have a smoky note to it.
So I mean, I got like a basic Bushmills and of course Jameson, but I also got my Red Breast and some Tullamore and a few other things. Then I picked up. I'm not a stout person, so I didn't want to go get a Guinness. So I got some Smithwick's red ale to go ahead and have, and then a little Bailey's Irish cream. I found I went to, like you suggested. You said go to a thrift store or something like that, and I found this little. I can't remember what the company is, but Irish cream glass, and it's a glass I'd never seen before. So I'm gonna take it home, wash it out, and then I'll use it tonight or whatever. But Yeah, right now I'm on the search for shepherd's pie because for some reason I want to do this all. I want to do this all right.
Oh yeah.
But for some reason, every one of the restaurants that used to have shepherd's pie back in the day, they don't make it anymore. So it looks like I'm going to end up getting just pot roast, which is another Irish thing. So
well, you can always get what is it? Corned beef. Corned beef's the big corn the thing, right?
Not a fan.
Yeah. Well, I don't agree with you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just that's not a. I don't know if let's put it this way. If Jersey Mike's has corned beef, then maybe I can get past it. But I'm not a big freaking. I don't like corned beef and cabbage. I don't like mustard. Really seriously at all. So freaking that whole mustard sauce, freaking. I just can't deal with that shit. So
yeah.
But yeah, today was a good day. I'm still. Some other things came up. The school that I went to before ITT, it disbanded. This doesn't exist anymore. So we're trying to figure out how to get a hold of my transcripts from there. Once that happens, then they'll set me up for a piss test, and then we'll go from there. But I'm not. They're not getting the HR from Teledyne. I guess was out of the office today, so I got to wait till tomorrow morning.
Well, Steve, I'll tell you what, since I have you on here, and I know you, but there's some people asking that don't know. So what's your good news?
Oh, so I'll be saying it tonight if they're around. But so basically, I've got the job that I really, really wanted. I signed an offer. I signed an offer the other day, and now it's just going through the background check and the urinalysis. So now I got to hope that after 20 years, that something in my storage, that I can dig through my storage and find my transcripts, because the school doesn't exist anymore, and it's part of the background check to verify my degree. So therefore, they're going to try on their end, but they said that I need to try to get a hold of it. So I'm using all my avenues to try to get a hold of it and stuff like that. But you know what?
Have you had to use it in a previous job?
No, nobody's ever asked me for proof.
Oh,
so I mean, yeah. So if somebody ever asked me for proof, then it would be like, okay, because I lived in we talked about this. I lived in Colorado when I worked for Intel, and so I get out of the military, I go to school, I go to work for Intel, and then I moved like 2 or 3 times over a few years, and then I end up living with my brother and stuff goes into storage here and storage there and blah 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 whatever. Finally get everything concentrated down, and then I don't have my high school diploma. That got lost in a freaking fire in an apartment building. Freaking, I don't have any of my yearbooks, any of my freaking cruise books, any of that stuff, because it was lost. So, and then this degree, I know I had it. I know I've seen it like 15 years ago before I started my last job, but I have to go try to dig it out. But there's other avenues I can go down to find it and stuff like that, and everything else is just going to take, instead of being everything starting up today, it'll have to start up tomorrow. But I still have. They said that the actual background check is probably going to take less than freaking 3 or 4 days. So once I get all that stuff tomorrow or Friday, then by Tuesday or Wednesday of next week, I should be freaking good to go. And then I still wouldn't even start for another week and a half after that. So I still have time. I just need to find out exactly how Teledyne wants me to go about doing it. If they're going to really just say, oh, well, since you can't find it, we can't hire you, that would be stupid. Because they know that everybody knows ITT disappeared. Everybody knows that it was shut down and freaking, and the only people that have the records I can't remember the name of the parchment. It's after 2001. I graduated in 2000.
Yeah.
That's the only records that they have from ITT. So it's like, I'll get it figured out. I'm confident I'll get it figured out. And if I don't, guess what? If something, then that means that for some strange reason, the job I really wanted wasn't the one I was meant to get. I also have, the truth is, I have testing on Friday for Amazon. I have an interview with Anheuser-Busch tomorrow. Anheuser-Busch is dramatically less than everything else, but if it ends up being the only job I can get, guess what? I go there and I keep on looking.
Well, that's the thing, right? We talked about open doors and closed doors. And
right.
Doors will be open and some doors will be closed. And you have to, not so much a necessarily a smack in the face as much as there's a reason. And
Right.
you know, I can tell you this though, dude, I am super, super proud of the way that you've came back strong. You know, listen, it's easy to get down and not get out, and you have a great support mechanism. And I'm glad you're here so that the people you would have never met can help be there for you. But dude, I'm proud seeing you back up on your feet and all that stuff. That's not easy. So kudos to you.
Hey, yeah, real quick. I just flipped over to the chat real quick because I can't see it while I'm looking.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on my phone. So Mike Stahl, you said you got your ITT transcript from 1996. If you got that through somebody, if you could if you could DM me on Instagram, or if you go to the About Set tab tonight on my live stream, which everybody should be there for, then in the About section, there's an email. Click it. It's themashbill.live@gmail.com. Send me an email, and that would be freaking great. That would be a lot of help right there. But either way, I don't want to interrupt your stuff too much. It's 6:00. That means Jason's going on right now, so you got to finish what you're doing. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump off as soon as Jason's done tonight. Whether it be at 8:00 or whether it be a little bit later, everybody followed my streams over the last few weeks.
Yeah.
If it's a little early, a little late, whatever, somewhere around the 8:00 hour, I will be going live either before or after.
Yeah.
I'll be going live. Everybody jump on. Right now, I'm going to go ahead and go try to find something to eat since I haven't eaten all day, and I don't want to get too freaking slammered trying to do my live. And I'm going to go check out. I'm going to go buy and get some, maybe try to get some decorations at a dollar store just to make it all happy and festive and shit. So
right, be safe.
I'll see everybody in a couple hours.
All right. Take care, bud.
All right. Bye.
Cheers. All right. Good news. You know, so I thought it was worth sharing. I am going to jump over there to the Mash and Drum. I know that they have segues in the beginning and it takes them a little while to get started, and they're going to talk about all the different bourbons they have. So I'll go until about 9:10, and then I'll jump off and head over to that way. So I appreciate that everybody that was on here. Thanks for hanging out. I know it was a pain in the beginning, but I'm learning the new system. It's, you know, in the past, it's like the YouTube system's really easy, but you can't do what we just did with Stan on the YouTube live. So that's why I wanted to do that. Because listen, I'm perfectly okay with anybody jumping on any feed I have. And that's what I wanted to do, is that when I'm live, I'll put that link in there now that I've learned how to do that. You know, so if you see the link in there and you're like, hey, I want to jump on sometime and just talk, I'm all game. And it might just be two of us. That don't matter. I've literally started in the very first beginning when I was on my iPhone doing it. I'm pretty sure I talked to myself for a solid hour. But I was hoping that someone would watch it, right? And so I think that's the thing, right? You have to go out and understand that. So tomorrow, Rock Gut Review and Bourbon Bite's going to have an Irish whiskey stream together. Check them out. Whiskey Mountains. You definitely need to subscribe and check her out. I think most everybody in here has. Dennis Leary. Irish cuisine. You boil everything. So thanks, Sugar Kitty. I appreciate it. You know, sorry for the debacle in the beginning, but hey, we're learning, right? We're learning. And the thing about lives, right? When you get this opportunity to do this, I think that you get an opportunity for people to get to know you better. And I am a lover of people. I enjoy people. You know, I've been fortunately blessed with my job and my career that I've traveled the world. And in that, I got to meet people from every walk of life. And like I said earlier, you know, everybody's nice if you're nice, you know, so take the opportunity to be nice. So, and then you get into this. And so, you know, I like to bring in some different thoughts of just making sure that you are going through and tasting stuff, and don't be afraid to blend it however you like it, right? As stewards, our job is to help you understand that however you like it is right. But if you have questions, these are some things that you might want to look at, and don't be afraid to, well, why did you do that? Why did you put your expensive stuff and that junk. Well, hey, listen, the guy making it never thought it was junk. So, the idea is more along the lines of how do I make something that I have better, or how do I make something I don't really like better? And it might take me using something that I really like. So at least I'm liking the stuff that I didn't like and going through that process, right? So I'm going to take some more of that. I promise you this, for the 5 people or however many people still on here, this right here will become your new summer drink if you haven't done it. Don't be afraid to throw it on the rocks in a pitcher, though, because it probably needs diluted for all of the people that are going to drink it in mass volume. They probably need it diluted a little bit. But it is green Kool-Aid pineapple happiness. It is delicious. But I have no problem drinking that and then drinking this. And I can still pull the same flavors. I just don't ever do this. I've done this for years with my brother, and we goof around a lot, and we'll try something and then drink something else and then say, okay, did you pull what are your notes? Did they match from earlier? And we do weird stuff. If we did a podcast, I don't know if we'd be banned or if we'd be one of the biggest podcasts out there. Because if it was just like this weird podcast that happened between me and the Gunny and he didn't know, holy cow, the shit that gets said at the bar here at HQ is, I'd have to imagine someone's going to censor us, because it's just 2 salty Marines sitting here talking, saying like stupid stuff. And some people would find it offensive or whatever, but it's not meant that way. That's the thing, right? Like why you have it's hard for vets to talk to people outside of vets, because you just, it's different. So, but it's, if you have not had writer's tears, and I'll show you this again, there's only a few people here, but hopefully some people will rewatch this from the debacle earlier. So this is writer's tears double oaked. It's aged in American bourbon barrels and French oak cognac barrels. It is really good. It is really good. I liked it a lot. I thought it put off some great notes. I thought it had a great finish. I also had Jameson Triple. I won't really say much of that because triple distillation Jameson is just that. It's just a smooth Irish whiskey made the way it's made. And the other one I had was the Sexton, right? The Sexton single malt Irish whiskey distilled in copper pots. It's an 40% alcohol by volume ABV, which is 80 proof. And it's got a really pretty nice little bottle that pours like absolute ass. It does not pour good at all. Pour a spout or be really carefully poured, it's just going to run all down it. Other than that, I like it, but it does have a big smoke profile. So if you're not a person that likes smoke profile, I know my brother, the Gunny, was excited about trying this. I don't think he's really going to like it because he does not really care for that smoke note that gives you that smoky, scotchy type of feel. Not a peaty, just a smoky. And I know he doesn't like High West Campfire, so I don't think he's going to like that. But 9:07, I said I'll go 3 more minutes. And I have, I think, 4 people watching, right? If you go up in the link and you want to jump on here and come into the session and talk, I'm perfectly okay with that. Anybody can jump in here. I know that there's I put the link up in there earlier. I have no problem talking. It's not like they're going to do anything in the first 15, 20 minutes other than talk and laugh and talk about what they're having and look at all the promo videos. Now, having said that, I wish I could do the editing that Jason does. But I did have someone tell me this week, they were surprised that, hey, listen, it's really hard to see your editing. And I was like, well, I don't edit. And they're like, so you do your reviews on a one take? And I was like, yeah, I do. And it's like, well, how do you do that and don't have like a lot of miscues. So my job has been for the last 11 years is I'm a engineering technical trainer. So, and I go in front of customers all over the world. And I'm pretty good at processing what I want to do or what I want to say or anything like that. Beforehand, I'm literally processing what's coming next and what's coming next and what's coming next before it comes out of my mouth. So do I make mistakes? Yes. But hey, listen, we're human. I don't need to have I don't believe I need to personally have, or do I really care for having an unedited or an edited video where you don't see me ever making a mistake. Now, having said that, I definitely am in the works for having a segue video that represents my channel. There's different things I want that when someone comes into my channel and they see this happening, they see what matters to me and where I want my channel to go and what the things I want my channel to do. If you're on YouTube, and we bumped up to another person, hey, I'm on Instagram every Friday, usually around 6 o'clock. I do Fire Friday. And literally, I just sit around the fire pit on the back deck and talk about what's new with the channels, what's going on with the channels, what do you want to see? And I try to be present on both streams, YouTube and Instagram. And Instagram's just as big, if not bigger, than YouTube. And it's surprising. So if someone just joined, you're going to want to rewatch to find out this concoction I made on Wednesday, Blendsday. It did have whiskey, so it counts. But it is absolutely deadly. Without it, I don't know if I'll be in trouble for saying this. I'm trying to think, is what I'm about to say going to get me in trouble? So I'll rephrase it. It will make you do really dumb shit. If you don't pay attention to that drink, it will make you do really dumb stuff. All right. So it's a little past what I said I would stop at. So I appreciate you guys hanging out. I love my network. I love my tubes. I love my Instagrams. I love the followers. You guys are all great. Jump over to the Mash and Drum. I'm going to go over there next. And until then, be good to those that take care of you. Be someone that someone can count on. And when in doubt, always be nice, because the other people around you will be nicer if you're nice. So until next time, cheers. I look forward to talking to you again. And I'll see you over in the other tubes.